They kind of keep me.
And thank you so much for joining us here at Remnant House. That's right. We got to come in from out working on the ranch here. Put up the old hat. Sit down with you folks. Talk about evangelism. Shalom, shalom, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming on in from the outside, from the outskirts, from the old frontier. And come on inside and sit down for a second because we want to talk about getting people in the kingdom, getting him out of the kingdom of darkness into the kingdom of his dear son. Isn't that the Great Commission? And isn't that why we are commanded to be united? And of course, joining me for this conversation, of course, will be my brother, David Colon. Thank you so much, my brother, for coming to hang out with me again for another one of these important conversations. This is like the most important thing we do every week, no matter what else we're doing. Right. This right here, get people in the water, get people saved, get people out of the kingdom of darkness into the kingdom of his dear son. David, tell them about that.
Absolutely. It's an honor to be here amongst my people here, and it's definitely an honor to bring people to the way it was originally supposed to be, the Torah. And
that's right.
And so I count it as an honor to be able to do that, and to get people to understand that they've been kind of lied to, and not kind of, they have been lied to, but there is a way out for those who want the way out.
Well, there it is. That's the key right there, is do you really want the way of escape? What is described in the scripture as the way of escape, right? And so what are we escaping from? The way of escape must be there must be a need to leave something in order to need a way of escape. There must be something horrible that's so bad we need a narrow way to get out of it. And through much tribulation do we enter into the kingdom. Do we all see this sort of theme continues, right?
Right.
And so, but what are we getting out of, David? That's really, I think, before we talk about solutions, what are the problems that people are sitting in that maybe they need the way of escape from?
Number one, mindset. Okay, the mindset of I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is sit here and wait for the blessing to come to me.
Whoa! Coin's gonna fall down on your head? Hold on a minute. Did you just suggest the gold coins are just gonna wait? I'm just gonna stand here, and I can feel it. I can feel it.
Yes.
Right? You don't. What? There's entire ministries based on this.
Yes.
Where people just stand and do this to the sound of some music being piped through the electrical system, and using speakers and using acoustics and using theatrics, for lack of a better word. Okay, people are standing there, broke as a joke, going, I can feel it.
I'm so blessed.
Go back 5 years. Go back and check in 5 years. They have no improvement. They're barely moving forward. What happened? What happened? See, we now have time to go back and look at the empirical evidence that demands a verdict.
Yes, absolutely.
And somebody was writing to me just this last week about the Word of Faith movement, right? And were you ever part of the Word of Faith movement? Yeah, in the 80s, I think a lot of people were. It was a very big movement. A lot of people went to meetings,
right?
Went to all kinds of things. It was a new thing coming up, and a lot of people went to check that out. But then, if you continue to walk with Yahuwah, he began to show you the way of excellence. And you escape. And you escape.
Yes. And he also revealed the kind of the hokiness of it, and the
beyond hokiness.
real power.
The only people getting wealthy that was documentable were the people selling you tapes, selling you books in one way or form. Either they produced the tapes or they were selling the tapes, either way. And doing the venues, doing the meetings. Those people were doing fabulous.
Sure.
The average guy who was coming to get the instruction and the prayer and everything else was not doing as well.
No,
that's reality.
Yes. And
so
we've come to
when you come in with a scientific method and do a review with a scientific empirical evidence method to say, look, all religion aside, just to respect them all, put them all in a box, and let's just look at the results.
Yes.
Right? Look at the results. Because when you look at Mashiach's ministry, what did he say? If you don't believe me by the words I speak, believe me by the works that I do. For what work you hate me? And then as people began to look at his works, what did they see? We know.
Yes. Yes.
So your fruit.
Evidence that's a verdict. Yes. The fruit.
That's right.
Yes.
And that fruit has to, according to the scripture, has to remain. That means it's multi-generational. It's not a one-off.
Correct. Or not just for a couple of years, or it's something that should be chasing you down.
And if religion produced that, the average guy would be a billionaire.
Listen. I'm watching people now coming to the end of their days, and really struggling with the whole belief thing, because they've been fed a line from the pulpit that somehow this whole pie in the sky, this whole we're going to get out at the rapture, we're not going to have to face all this stuff, we're not going to have to do anything. What they're finding out is, I think we've been lied to.
Well, let's take that logically a little bit further. So let's put on our thinking cap. Let's get very analytical. And let's analyze this thinking process, because what does it do to you? When you think you're going to win the lottery at any minute, when you think any second now your ship is going to come in, when you think any minute now you're out of here, how much investment are you going to make in the now that you're in? Bingo. We already know the answer because we've watched this out, right? So we already know very little. What are you going to stomach? What are you willing to put up with while you wait for that jackpot win? A lot more than people who aren't looking for a jackpot win, but instead intend to live there. They will shut off nonsense a lot sooner, deal with rights violations sooner, deal with issues sooner. Why? Because they're not going anywhere. In their mind, they're here. They're on earth as it is in heaven, not leaving. If you go to heaven, it's a round trip ticket, just saying. So, they're like, no, they're acclimated to earth, right? So they have a different attitude toward everything. So it turns out that your eschatology does affect how you function.
Yes.
In the grander scheme, in the bigger picture, without getting into the micro details of your point of view, whatever you've put into the future, that's behind you.
Right.
Okay. Anything you've done that with, inadvertently or whatever, now affects the way you walk forward in time.
Absolutely. It produces a certain.
It's going to affect your decisions. It's going to affect your values. It's going to affect your investments. It's going to affect your time. It's going to affect your relationships. Everything. It's going to ripple through every part of you. And I think that's the sort of master stroke of deception that we're wading through right now, right? As a group, without one person necessarily having it all figured out. But as a group, we're all going, whoa, like you said, we're waking up, David. We were lied to.
You were absolutely bamboozled. We were lied to in so many different ways. And should we be shocked that, the prince of the power of the air is a liar? I mean, should we be shocked?
I think that it's just part of life that we would expect people to give you their best foot forward, if you will.
Sure.
Right? There's a certain amount of that I think we all kind of expect. But then there comes a point where you're being flat out, like, I don't know what the world call it. They call it like catfished, or I don't know the right
Catfish,
term.
yeah.
But you're just totally being
Gaslit.
deceived. You gaslit, right? You're just
Gaslit.
that's a whole different thing, right?
Yes.
And so I think that it's one thing to put on your best suit, and put on your best polish on your shoes and straighten your tie and give your good haircut and go in there and give it your best interview. I think that's the right thing. I think the rest has been social media on steroids for every part of people's personalities now, which are super in their head, not so super in reality.
Right. Or, having a form of godliness up here, but denying the power thereof down here in their hearts.
And that actually is an important passage that speaks about Sabbath keeping piety and why it is so important that the marked people are set apart during especially a time of difficulty, because that's increasingly the time that you're under attack. Think about it, folks. Why would he want you separate like he had you in Goshen before removing you from Egypt? Why? Because it's easier to separate you while he judges the rest of them.
Right.
You're mixed in there, it makes it harder. Right. And so, and that's why he says in Revelation 18, doesn't he, David? Come out of her, my people.
Yes.
Now, even the non-believer, even the person that's still struggling with, the whole Bible and everything else, and which Bible and so forth, even that person is going, but you know what? I can definitely understand why we need to get out of there. I can't maybe figure out all the rest of that, but it sure is obvious that they're not our friends around here.
Right.
That much, even common sense is telling folks.
Yes.
So, what do we need from the kingdom, if you will? What do we need from those who are believers? Results. Because people are done listening to your rhetoric or your memes. No matter how hard you shout, they all of a sudden everybody discovered the OpenAI meme machine. Good for you.
Yep.
It didn't replace fruit. So people look behind the meme and go, is it just a meme or is there something to this?
Right.
When they look behind, they better find something extraordinary or they're going to keep walking, right? So the pressure remains on the Kodashim, on the people of the king, to produce light and fruit, as he said. Salt, light, fruit. That's what he said. You're the salt of the earth. You're the light of the world. And you judge a man by his fruit.
And can that salt lose its savor?
He said so.
Of course.
He said if a salt loses its savor, it is to cast out and it's good for nothing, but to be trampled under the foot of men.
If that isn't a dose of, exactly. If that's not a dose of humble pie, I don't know what
salty,
it is.
my friends. Stay salty,
Stay
my
salty. Stay salty.
Stay salty, my friends. Okay? Don't ever lose your salt.
Yes.
Okay? Always be ready to share, right? Have an answer for the hope that's in your heart. That's what we're told and commanded to do. Amen. And so, but people don't want to hear rhetoric, and I think that's the pressure that is coming in the Ruach right now, which I love. We've been talking on Shabbats, as you know. So a lot of great series come out of Remnant House, so we certainly encourage you to go back and take a look. We talked about grace, and I think a lot of you really need that series to sit through that topic. You can do it in one afternoon if you want to, but you really got to get through that. Same thing about the faith series. The more you start to understand how to appropriate these things, the difference will be your results. Okay, so let's judge trees by their fruit. And when you see improved results, you got to go, there's a difference here. This is working better. It's kind of like our one brother who created Plant Restore, right, David? And before Plant Restore, after Plant Restore.
Great product.
Right?
Great product, by the way.
Empirical evidence, like you can document it.
Exactly.
Okay? There we go.
And I was even a part of that documentation process.
Well, and we can all document it. You can buy a bag of it. Okay.
Sure.
Buy a bag of it for yourself. Throw it in your garden. It ain't exactly hard to test it. It doesn't require anybody to come visit you from a bio lab.
Yeah.
It's just stuff you put on your garden, and the
Yes.
next thing you know, you're growing better crop, if you will, or better. You have a better garden. That's empirical evidence.
Yes, because it's
Try it
restoring
yourself.
the.
Don't take my
mitochondria.
word for it. Try it yourself. It's your junk shake. It's your garden.
Yes.
You do it. Right? Right, David?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And next thing you know, you're like, hey, that stuff works. See?
That evidence. Yes, absolutely.
But why should you
Absolutely.
believe me? Just pour some on your own garden. Don't take my word for it. What is it, like 30, 40 bucks a bag or something nonsense like that? Just go get some.
It goes
right?
a long way, though, by the way. That
Yeah,
goes a
that's
long
the other
way.
thing. Yeah, a little bit
Yeah.
goes a long
That
way.
little scoop in there is like tiny. You don't even
Right.
need that much.
But don't forget to tip my brother.
Right. Yes.
Encourage
Yes.
the young entrepreneurs, of the small entrepreneurs.
Yes, Mr. Dion Young. Yes. Yes. Awesome.
Plant Restore, that was a good product. So, things like that, we see people doing, and what does that do? That encourages other people that are like, wow, look, now Yo is blessing this person. Like, they're increasing, they're starting to do well, right? Oh my goodness, I want to know what they're doing. Why? Because they're doing well. I want to do what they're doing.
Right.
Why do kids follow gangsters?
Makes
Because
sense.
they wear all this jewelry, man, and they look all cool, man. They need better role models.
Yes. Yes.
Other kids who are just as cool, only they ain't part of that kind of a gang. They're part of a family. That is pretty awesome. So we look out and we see this landscape, David, and we see that a lot of people are out there really asking harder questions about like time, aren't they? I love shows like YouTube channels like My Lunch Break have certainly helped.
Yes, and there's even a couple. I've ran across quite a few reels that talk about the whole 70 AD thing, and it's not just now it's other people talking about it, not just one or two or three people. Now it's really becoming mainstream, and people are starting to understand. Hey, what's going on here? Did we err somewhere? Yes. Well, certainly did. The whole future.
Well, and I think where we're all asking harder questions is this. The more you thought with a lottery ticket mentality, guys, for just a conversational point, just a mental exercise, okay? Yeah. The more time you spent with that mental exercise, the less you would invest. So, for example, we saw people's bodies that they let go because they were expecting an exit. We saw people's economics where they were not very wise, or the way they managed their families, or the way they managed their relationships. Like their exit was all they could focus on was just some whisk away exit. Yes. And they could not get themselves to dedicate to anything of any value that they now, since there was no whisk away exit, are able to go, wow, look what I did over 20 years or 30 years, right? Mm-hmm. So that did affect the way that they made decisions, the way that they invested, the way that they decided upon their way they managed their body. Okay. Right. So if that doctrine is affecting me, for example, and I'm like, hey, I know that I've got to endure, I've got to overcome, I've got to be in shape. Well, then I'm going to treat my body differently.
Yes, exactly.
Right? I'm going to be herbal dude. I'm herbal dude.
Yes.
I'm going to have every tincture there is, man. You should see my tincture tray. It's like this. It's like glunk. Mama's just like glunk, 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 glunk. All that goes in.
Yes.
Right in there, man. All kinds of different, remedies and things. Why? Because we don't do pharmaceuticals, right? We don't do drugs. We don't do these things that we know hurt the temple and impede the natural process of the body, right, David? We don't fight. We fight parasites with antiparasitics. We regularly cleanse the temple, right? We don't just wait until you're sick. That's too late.
Right. Come on now.
An ounce of prevention worth a pound of cure. Anybody hear that?
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah, and how many people are now starting? Sorry.
Hey, no, the number of people, bro. Wow. Like the thousands are out there. And I'm talking groups of people that are now talking about the parasite cleanse, why it's so important. And we're talking groups of people, not just individuals. Yeah. Thousands of groups now are forming, discussing, tracking results. It's crazy. It's everywhere. And I love it because you know that the benefit is going to be better health for people, better sanity, right? Better cognitive capability.
Yes.
Look, how much personality shift are you going to see just because people deworm?
I've seen it in my own life. So I mean, you know, it's not hard to see. You know, and I'm wondering how many people now are starting to realize, hold on a second, you know, we prayed for this stuff, you know, before we ate it. And now here we are at 62, 63, 64, and we're reaping all the bad things that come with it. I mean, so
well, here's the good news. Here's the good news. And I can testify to this, as we both can, that you can literally reverse aging. You can get yourself in the best shape. I'm actually approaching pretty soon. I think I'm going to eclipse the best shape of my life as I'm, you know, just doing simple things really. But, you know, how he can recover you, the things that are available today, the solutions, the like I said, remedies. I never knew about Ethiopian black seed oil. Never knew about that. Now I do, and it's sitting right there on my shelf, right? So out in the middle of nowhere here, I got Ethiopian black seed oil, right? From Ethiopia. I love that. Right? That's a parasite killer if there is one. And things like that. So I mean, you got to be proactive, but it doesn't matter where you are now. They'll send it to you anywhere. I keep laughing about that. Like you're out in the middle of the wilderness, but UPS can still find you. I don't know how anybody gets lost. Just ask the UPS man. He knows where everybody lives.
Yes.
Everybody be getting Amazon. Even the dude that lives with Smokey the Bear gets Amazon. It's hilarious. UPS knows where everybody is. Yes. But you know, here we are in this time period. And if you stick your head in the ground and you're like, oh no, I'm not going to think about any of that because we're going to whisk away this feast of tabernacles, right? And next Feast of Trumpets, we're gone. And then Feast of Trumpets comes. We have a great feast period. We celebrate the Feast of Trumpets that has already been fulfilled. And we go, hallelujah, thank you, Father. And we celebrate and move on into the rest of the feast periods. And those that were putting all their eggs in that basket, which I've seen so many times, right? Go, oh no. Now, what has to come after that? Here's the thing is that you got to stop putting all your eggs in the world. This is what I've been talking about for over 10 years, that the world is your enemy in that regard, in the sense that he said that you are not to love the world. He did not say not love the earth. Big difference between the world and the earth. Yes. Okay, we be earthing it, man. We be going back to the earth. We're earthlings.
Oh, and all our remedies are coming from where? The earth.
Come on, man. Are you an earthling or are you a worldling? Which are you? Because if you're a worldling, then stay in the world with your mochaccino. You know, plastic everything, including plastic food. I mean, they don't know what not to put plastic in, apparently.
Don't get me started.
The stuff that comes out of the studies and stuff, like people don't watch this. I know they don't, because there'll only be 10,000 views on a video, and I'm like, there should be 20 million views on this, and it was like 10,000 views on some video that's telling you exactly what they just did, and nobody cares. But they've told the public. There you go. Yeah, these abusers, they made it out. They put it out there. Nobody watched it.
That's all part of the algorithm.
Yeah. It's on BitChute, you know, so they put it out there so they could
check that box.
They let you know.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, it's in your water. They put poo from you in the stew. I mean, I'm just saying.
Right.
So what happens is that we start to see the health effects and the fruit of decision making that we really needed to rethink, like who makes your food decisions, who makes your health decisions, who makes your activity decisions. You know,
Right.
Abraham was a mountain climber.
Yep.
Moses, mountain climber.
Oh
Aaron,
yeah.
mountain climber.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
What are these things?
And then
Yaakov, mountain climber. What do these people all have in common? They lived over 100 years old with no air conditioning.
that's right. That's right. And no real home. Going from place to place to place to
Yeah,
place.
exactly. We might be just too soft. Just saying.
Just a little bit.
David, what do you
Yeah.
think about that?
Oh boy. I mean, I'm starting to see the fruit of thinking that I had it all together, and I could just do whatever I want, and hey, whatever, I just do what I want because you know what, I'm blessed.
Right.
Okay?
Exactly.
I'm blessed.
Exactly.
Okay, and so what we're finding out is, hold on a second, all that repercussions of all those things are still there.
Yep.
So now we find ourselves as older gentlemen, really pulling back the pedal, pulling back the bicycle pedal, so to speak, and basically getting into the fact that what, he made all these things, he made all these herbs for medicine.
That's right.
Okay. All these trees,
He says
the tree
work
bark,
cures.
the tree,
In the New
the
Testament,
leaves.
it talks about cures.
Yes, cures, and so it's all out there. So that's what we put our faith and our trust in now, is things that Yahuwah put together. Yahuwah, he's the one. So now there it is. And so we are definitely, pedaling back, and successfully, I might add too. So let's not get that twisted.
Well, and that's an important word, because Yahusha said in Luke chapter 13, verse 32, go ye and tell that fox, when he's speaking concerning his enemy, if you will, Herod, behold, I cast out devils, and I do cures today and tomorrow. Cures. So he didn't just assuage symptoms or make people just feel better. Okay.
Right.
He absolutely cured them.
Sure.
And that's what the natural remedies of earth, the herbal remedies, the natural things that naturopaths use, I believe are meant to work with the body's already natural existing immune system and disease elimination system. And the more you work with that, like, so for example, if you are, let's say you're waking up every morning and you're having foamy urine, right? You know what you need? Where's it? Can you read that? Pumpkin seed oil. Can you read that? It gets a little bright. There you go. Pumpkin seed oil. Why? Because that's what it's for, with saw palmetto. And you take that. It's a simple thing. It goes down nice and easy. Doesn't hurt you. Doesn't give you any foul stomach, any of that. No side effects, none of that. Now, I'm not a doctor, so don't take my advice. I'm just saying what I would do. Okay.
Right. Exactly.
Right. I'm just telling you what I would do. And I'd take pumpkin.
For informational purposes only.
For informational purposes and my entertainment only. Okay?
Exactly.
Now, since we are out here in Ubatubi. But but seriously, you go looking and you say, hey, I need to find solutions. And what do I want? I don't want things that my body will have additional side effects to. I want things that my body can naturally, process, and naturally work with. Right. And so that's why I say this is and maybe this will work for me and maybe not for you. So maybe for you, it's a garlic thing, maybe something else, I don't know. All I'm saying is there's a tremendous amount of information out there now. Better product availability, quicker, easier product availability than there used to be, which I think is a really awesome time. David, what do you think?
True. Absolutely. That it, like he'll show me something and I'll just go over there to Amazon. Oh, there it is. Oh, it's organic.
Right.
Too.
Exactly.
Here you go. All right. I'll have it tomorrow. Okay. So that's how easy it is. So your availability of product is not your excuse now.
Yeah,
You know,
it really,
so
and a lot of things. I'll tell you, the herbal remedies and the herbal things that you want to talk about saving money, uh, compared to you know the other side. I mean, wow. I
right,
might have a remedy that costs me $10,
right,
$30, something like that.
yeah,
You know what I
no,
mean? Yeah. I mean, I got to come off the hip for that, but
yeah. But listen,
problem solved.
the problem solved. Not problems
Right,
being compounded by
right.
chemicals, by fillers, by additives. So
And that's a
pick your
never-ending battle,
poison.
isn't it, David? You got to keep looking for good suppliers, good people, good
Absolutely,
things. It's a
absolutely,
never-ending
absolutely.
battle, isn't it?
It is. It most certainly is, because you know what, everything is right now. I mean, there's a lot of things that are just twisted, tainted, contaminated, this, that, and the other. And you really do have to use some discernment and
Oh yeah.
really call upon that still small voice that says, you know what, not that one. No, no, no. Okay, that one over there, yes, but not this one. Don't mess with that.
Well,
Okay,
and that's
and
the other
those.
thing is that how much discernment, guys. I mean, you guys in the audience right here, how much discernment that you have to use, okay? And, you guys all have to deal with it. I'm not alone in this. Just even going to
No,
the grocery store, okay? Just
bingo.
walking down the aisle, things that we used to take for granted, David, that we didn't really think a lot about. But now we're
Yes.
taking a step back on, wait a minute, where am I? What is all this? This wall of chemicals in various
Ah,
boxes. I feel like it's
yes.
Star Trek. Next
Dude,
thing you know, they're gonna have the replicator over here.
right down to your shampoos, your soaps, everything, man. It's just chemical nation. That's the best way I can describe it.
You
This
know what I
nation's
always
become,
feel like? I always feel like they, like everything from shots to, it doesn't matter what it is, like anything that penetrates the body or that you ingest or that you put on your body, it's almost like there's some group out there that just feels entitled to your body.
come on. Right.
It's always seemed that way to me, and maybe that's a little bit of the Peter, you went a little off. Help me, David, pull me back in. But it's like, I don't know, it almost seems like there's certain groups of people that just think, hey, your body's like ours to play with. What do you think,
Right.
David? Am I cuckoo here?
No, you're not cuckoo. You're not cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Come on, guys,
You're
help me.
right.
Am I cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs here?
You're right on the money. I mean, let's face it. There is. I'm not gonna, spell it out specifically, but there is an agenda out there that, definitely wants to reduce, and that's all I'm gonna say about it. Okay. So
Well, yeah, whether it's the population question or if it's just the quality of life, just
quality of life,
the
exactly.
further you get away from the
When you
world
say, yes.
and get closer to the earth, the
Come on.
better you're gonna feel.
By the way, what were we made from?
Earth.
We were made from the earth, weren't we?
Yeah. Better to get
Help me
back
out
to
here.
earth.
Yeah.
Right.
So we were made from the earth.
There's something, and this kid I grew up in New York. I grew up in the Bronx, concrete jungle kid. Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody, there's something about standing on concrete too long. You got to touch back to the earth. There's something about that. I can't quite put my finger. Maybe one of you guys out here are smarter than me on this topic. I defer. I truly do. I humbly defer, because I know there's more to this than we understand. And I humbly defer. But I know this. There's a massive difference between standing on cement ground than standing on just dirt. Massive difference. And it affects your body, it affects your spirit. I know it's true.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. By the way, we have electricity running throughout our body. Okay, that's how our heart beats. Okay, our heart beats through electricity. Okay, not just, obviously it's Yahuwah's hand, obviously, but who created that electricity? He did. So therefore, it makes sense that we would have to go and ground, take off those rubber sole shoes. Okay, these things right here. Okay. And touch the earth, and basically what it does is it's kind of like a ground.
It is a ground.
Your house, Your house is grounded too, by the way. If your house was not grounded, it would blow up. Okay, everything is grounded. Any type of power supply is grounded to the earth. The earth is the ultimate grounder. So it stands to reason that we would have to do the same thing.
Isn't that funny?
Just saying.
That we have to do the same thing as an electrical circuit. We've got to ground on the earth.
It is.
And as soon as you do, literally, it is so fast that they can't even measure the speed of the discharge that you get as soon as you take your shoes off and touch the earth.
Instant.
It's crazy. And people that, that are a little more hippie, I mean, you guys are cool. We love you. Hey, I'm a hippie. I'm totally a hippie. We love our hippies.
Yeah,
they knew this. Like, the hippies knew this. The hippies like, dude, why do you think I wear sandals, man? Like, they knew this. Okay? Native Americans, they knew this, right? Yes. Like, a lot of people knew this, but a whole lot of people didn't know it.
Right. Well, we're coming back.
It's affecting psyche. I think it affects when we think about grounding. What do we think about a person that's grounded? What do we say when we say a person is very grounded? What are you insulting someone when you say they're grounded? Would you consider that? Anybody in my audience consider themselves insulted if someone says that person is really rooted and grounded? No.
I'm pretty sure that's scriptural too, by the way.
I'm pretty sure that's a compliment. Pretty sure. Where I come from, it is.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That means that person's solid, right? Dependable, rooted, not floating all over the place, right? So conceptually, we even get it. And then you think about, wow, how disconnected are we from earth because we fall in love with world cement, fake world, poly world, fake world, a pretend world.
Concrete jungle. Come on. Concrete
jungle. Plastic world. Okay. Polyester world. That was the word I was looking for. Okay.
Artificial.
Because now they got the polystyrene. They get the cups. Everything is fake.
Everything.
It's like a Hollywood set.
Yes. That's my latest wake up call is to the amount.
It's like one of those Chinese cities that nobody lives in.
It's the amount of fake and artificial and plastic. It's just like
I think what happened during COVID is a lot of people figured that out because the downtowns went dead. Because a lot, companies closed down.
That's true.
And then all of a sudden they were like, "Why do we even need this?"
There it is.
They can't bring it back now.
They're having a
hard time bringing it back, and it's a lot of theft. Also, the degradation of society. David, we really lost something through this last 5-6 years, haven't we?
Yes, I mean, these past 5 or 6 years, you could probably thank COVID for people getting woke up.
Yeah, actually, it backfired in some ways. You're absolutely right. I think you're right. I think it did backfire in a lot of ways.
Yes,
that's a great point.
Yeah, I'm not saying that we should thank COVID. That's not
but it backfired.
Yeah, it definitely backfired on them, and people are starting to see it now for what it is, and there is no walking that back. Okay, there is no walking.
No pretending you were on the other side when you were on this side.
Exactly. So, I think it was designed to do a certain thing, and like you said, it backfired. But isn't that just like Yahuwah?
Well, he makes promises and then he keeps them.
That's correct.
And he makes them to his sons and his daughters and those that believe him.
And
that's not always everybody. You might read about it a generation later. A lot of times people read the Bible like they were getting a daily update from David's palace.
Right.
You might have read about his whole affairs a generation later, maybe. Right. You definitely weren't going to get the update from the palace.
Nope.
So, we have to extrapolate what we learned from these experiences. We have to extrapolate what happened during these time periods in real time. Because it's very easy to Monday morning quarterback as you read the scripture saying, man, I would do this and I would do that.
Yeah.
Well, that's because you had a lot of time to meditate on it, look at that moment, and then make that decision over and over again so you would make the right one. Now let's live that same decision real time.
Real time.
No prep. Okay?
Right.
And watch the Ruach put you in a situation that suddenly you realize, wow, maybe I wasn't as prepared as I thought. Maybe I was a bit overconfident, David.
You think? Yes, absolutely. I mean,
How many times?
we accuse our teenagers of that all the time. You think you know it all. Just wait till you find out that you really don't know anything. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, up until this point, I should say. So
that's the kiss of death of the older generation, and it starts at 20, folks. So I'm sorry, but you know, you need to be very careful, because the older generation that scoffs at the word, scoffs at the things of the kingdom, produces themselves no good results. So there's that. So they themselves produce no good results, redeemable or exemplary in any way. However, somehow that person who produces no results of any kind is somehow the expert on quality fruit.
Right.
Somebody needs to help me with this thing that people do.
A major disconnect going on here. Major disconnect. Absolutely.
They can't produce fruit if they went to the fruit store and brought a basket home. They'd lose it on the way home. That's how bad they are. Yet they want to talk to you about you and your fruit.
Hey, you want to know what the secret is? Be humble.
Mind your own business.
Mind your own business and be humble. And be humble. Put your face in the dirt, okay? And be humble. Yep. And understand that, you know what? Because I have had all this stuff, I need to put my face in the dirt because he's the only one that can make this right. He is the only one that can make it right, that can make this work. So we need to understand that we don't know what we think we know, okay? You know, everything is open for a revelation or interpretation, because to be quite honest with you, I really feel sorry for the people that really can't receive any new revelations at an older age.
Not much you can do. As you found out in the story of the Exodus, that generation becomes very stubborn in what they believe regardless. I watched a man literally say, I want you to listen to this statement. I don't believe it. I need to see evidence. But even if I see evidence, I still won't believe it. I literally read that today. Okay. And I said, that is the definition of cognitive dissonance
and reprobate.
He literally was describing a mental disease.
Yes.
That if even I see evidence to the contrary, I still won't believe the evidence.
Heard somebody say that in my ear the other day. You know what? I don't care what you say.
In love with their own opinion.
Yes.
They have elevated themselves to the ultimate arbiter of truth.
Okay. So all you evangelists out there, there's nothing you can do about that.
That one you walk away from. There's a heretic you rebuke once or twice, and then you leave them.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
A heretic you rebuke once or twice, then you leave them. Why? Because do you want their fruit? Look at their fruit.
No. Besides, you don't want
old man still working a young man's job because and they'll call themselves successful doing it. We've hit idiocracy, my friends.
That's right. Okay. I remember that day. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that.
We've hit idiocracy. And we got people in those very shoes, the same ones they showed in that movie, which has got to be one of the biggest laughs you got to have. Go watch that movie, Idiocracy, and then notice what they're wearing. And then look around.
Interesting, because I never saw that movie, so this is definitely going to be a first for me. I never saw it.
All the stuff you've recommended that I watch. But I'm like, David, why did you make me watch this?
Exactly.
David is one that if I watch something, it's usually David said, go watch this. You're going to watch. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, why did you even put me through this?
Come on now. They're having
to pay me back for the Matrix. I made him watch 20 times.
Right. The one that I can't unsee that now. I mean, come on.
Oh my gosh. No kidding, huh? How about that?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, you know, I actually watch, if I'm going to watch something now, it's with intention. It's not with just let me go ahead and waste 6 hours of my life, on some senseless nonsense. It has to have a story. It has to have a purpose. And it has
I
to
don't know
have,
how people have that kind of time. Honestly, he says some things in the scripture, and this is very much about evangelism, because
yeah.
what are you setting your hand onto? This is a question that we have to keep asking.
Come on.
What are you setting your hand onto, right? So if you
Mhm.
set your hand onto people getting saved, and he blesses what you set your hand onto, people will get saved.
Right.
But if you set your hand on video games and that's the only thing you're spending your time on, then about all that's going to happen is you're going to bless the internal video game company, and you're going to make a lot of points in the video game.
Right.
I guess.
And you've
That's
accomplished.
you set your hand onto. So your set your hand onto blessing is going into a video game.
Yeah.
Instead of something that'll feed your family. How about 6 hours a day building something that's going to feed your family, an asset that is worth money, something you could sell or resell or use, or in some way improve your family or your life or your neighbors or something.
Right. Even if it's just through affiliate marketing, anything.
It doesn't matter what it is, as long as what you're doing is you're setting your hand onto something that's going to produce a fruit that people can see in the world, because he said, let your light so shine before men that they would see your good work and give kavod to your Father in heaven. That was a pretty simple statement that required you be, first of all, visible. It required that your light was sufficient, that it caused a recognition. It had to be in such a brightness that they would know where it came from. And it was so great that they had no choice but, like rocks, to cry out and say, Yada Yahuwah. Because, wow, we ain't never seen that before.
Right.
Amen.
Amen.
So when we talk about salt of the earth, light of the world, right?
Come on.
That we are called to be these things, that's not a light matter. Not to me.
It is not. No. Can't be mamby-pamby. You can't be wishy-washy. You have to be firm. You have to be set.
Our trust, that's right.
Yes.
Our trust has to be in Mashiach all the time, and that his finished work at Calvary.
Yes.
Our time on earth is limited.
Yes.
And while we are here, while we draw breath, while we are on earth, we need to do all we can to share the gospel message, to share the good news. David, is there any more important message to stop?
There is no.
What you're doing to share?
No, there is not. There absolutely is not. I mean, when at the end of the day, what's left? Yeah, it's bringing home those who are lost. Okay, it's recovering the sight of the blind. It is clothing the naked. And it's more than just physical. Okay,
we've got currents in this country of victims that are now waking up to the fruits of really bad trees that they ate from, really bad decisions that they made. There are currents. There's literally tributaries of people that are on these little sort of side niche rivers, if you will, tributaries, and they all need rescuing.
They do.
I see very vulnerable groups and very vulnerable people, and our hearts go out to everyone. But I believe that what we best do is awaken our brethren, awaken one another, right? To where we all begin to pray, seek him, and look for ways to be a braka, a blessing to one another. David, before we let people go, what last thoughts would you like to share?
Well, I cannot, personally, I'm waiting for that opportunity to really be more than just words. And it's already been happening in my life, but I'm talking about, the big stuff, the big time beraka or baraka, and I'm excited for it. I've waited my whole life for that opportunity. And so I'm just Yada Yahuwah that he's going to give me the opportunity to let my light so shine before men that they would see see the good works and glorify Yahuwah who is in heaven. And because at the end of the day, that's what this is about. It's just nothing else that matters. To be able to lay a crown at his feet and not come empty-handed that's huge to me. I cannot come empty-handed. So you know what? I relish every opportunity to basically bring, help people in to the kingdom and out of the lies of Babylon. So that is what, that's what I live for. So, and I just want to, encourage everybody that, you know what? Yada Yahuwah, he loves you. And what he's looking for from us is obedience. So that's what I have to say today. Microphone.
Hold on. Okay, that is a good word. What he is saying is, and I agree, what he is looking for from us is obedience. David, thank you again for a reminder. I mean, like I said, we have to stop what we're doing. We all have busy schedules. We all have, things that we can say, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. But we stop to talk about evangelism, to put our mind back on looking for opportunities out there for people that need to hear the gospel, the good news of the kingdom. Thanks again. And folks, I just want to continue to encourage all of you to remember that we stand united in a house as a family. That's a responsibility we all have. We have an obligation, really, to continue to demonstrate. It's one thing to say, yes, I love my neighbor as myself. It's another thing to actually show up when people need you, right? And so on that note, we're going to let you go because it's time for me to show up. So I got to go because there's some cowboying that needs done around these parts. Talk to you soon, folks. Shalom.